NBC Sports for BTN+. Reporting for the Spartan Newsroom in East Lansing. From East Lansing, I'm David Greenberg. Reporting live from the Spartan Newsroom, I'm David Greenberg. Hello everyone and welcome in studio. I'm David Greenberg. It is a busy time for the hearts and minds of sports fans all across the country. It is officially week 6 of the NFL season. Postseason baseball is in full swing and the NBA and NHL are just starting up. Mark D'Antonio's tenure has been filled with triumphant victories as well as unattainable expectations. As a Spartan, I know the passion these fans have. There are third, fourth, fifth generation Spartans that have gone to Michigan State, grew up in the state, rooted for this team their entire lives. I've seen this passion firsthand. Through all the highs that have come over the last 12 years, it is officially time to move on from Mark D'Antonio. His legacy with the program will forever outlast him, and he will be revered as a legend long after his days with the team. From 2010 to 2015, he boasted an astounding 58-10 record, along with winning 2 Big Ten titles, a Rose Bowl and a Cotton Bowl win, as well as an appearance in the college football playoff. The middle of February not only brings with it the snow, but also the final stretch of Big Ten Conference basketball. Hello everyone and welcome into tonight's matchup between Michigan State and Rutgers from East Lansing. I'm David Greenberg alongside Alexis Ayala. Lexi, Scarlet Knights a little bit short-handed tonight. Only 8 players made the trip, but that's okay because they have Arella Garentis in town. After what was the worst loss of the D'Antonio era, blowing a 21-point fourth-quarter lead at home to Illinois. The message from the student body was loud and clear. D'Antonio originally built his program on being blue-collar. He didn't get the best kids, he didn't get the most talented, but he got the kids with a chip on their shoulder, the ones that didn't get any big-time offers, so they came to Michigan State to make a name for themselves. That was the identity of his team. But since I've stepped foot on campus in 2016, I haven't seen that same type of competitive edge. All I've seen is a 24-24 record, 15-19 against Big Ten opponents, which is a far cry from the 39-9 he had during that infamous 6-year stretch, and 0 trips to Indianapolis, as well as no bids to a New Year's Six bowl game since, well, we all remember that glorious goose egg they left against Alabama on the field in Jerry World.
And the Chicago Blackhawks draft pick, Evan Barrett.
Yeah, Evan Barrett is tied for first on the Nittany Lions with 28 points. In an interview earlier this week, he had mentioned how these are the games that start to feel like playoff hockey, and this is the environment that he loves to play in. So let's see if he can back up his confidence and come away with a win tonight in East Lansing.
And for Michigan State, they're led by a senior.
Saliba has been red hot for the Spartans. 5 goals in his last 6 games. Last year, played more center just because of a lack of depth at the position, but this year has moved outside to winger, and it has obviously helped him. But Coach Dan Cole says that's not the only thing he's good at. He is obviously a goal scorer, but very good at the faceoffs. Obviously very versatile, can play center as well. The late game was one for the ages as the Nationals, down 3-1 in the top of the 8th, tied it up after back-to-back solo home runs off of Dodgers ace Clayton Kershaw to make it 3-3. The game then went into extras, but it was Howie Kendrick's go-ahead grand slam in the 10th inning to make it 7-3 Nationals, propelling them into the NLCS. Now let's go to the NBA. The Pelicans and Pistons tip off in a Sunday matinee in Motown. Both teams coming off second half collapses, their last time out. So who could step up today? Andre Drummond on the assist from Reggie Jackson. Drummond finished the game with 23 points. In the second, shot clock running down. Blake Griffin buries the 33-foot jumper. He had 35 points. But Julius Randle had something to say about this one as he goes, and he blows by his defender on his way to the hoop. He would finish with 28 points. Pelicans top the Pistons, 116-108. Pistons have now dropped 4 in a row. Another interesting game to watch is a showdown between the quarterbacks selected after Mitchell Trubisky in the first round of the 2017 NFL Draft, as Deshaun Watson leads the Houston Texans into Kansas City for a matchup between Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. When I arrived in East Lansing, I quickly learned there was one game that was far more important than any other. Beating Michigan quickly turned a bad season to a good one to a great one, but on the contrary, a bad one to a terrible one. After Saturday's loss, it is the first time the Wolverines have beaten the Spartans in back-to-back years since D'Antonio took over in 2007, as the wheels continue to fall off. Let's take a look around the Big Ten. It's not getting any easier for Michigan State. Ohio State is now a national powerhouse. Penn State is young, hungry, and talented, as well as Minnesota, who's rowing the boat all the way to Indianapolis. And Wisconsin seems to be running all over their opponents. So you tell me, Is it getting any easier?
Spartans got a first taste of it early on. Oregon came out and went on a 9-0 run, just in complete control here, and Aaron Boley added to the pain by dropping the 3-ball. Ducks up 21-10 in the first quarter. It didn't look good, but MSU started to settle in later in the quarter. No luck for Jenna Allen outside the arc, but that's what your teammates are for, right? Madrika Cook with the putback.
The coronavirus that has run rampant throughout China now has taken the lives of 1,113. Due to the outbreak, American Airlines has canceled flights to and from China and Hong Kong through April 24th. On Tuesday, a Holland America cruise ship carrying nearly 600 Americans was barred from docking in Thailand, the latest country to turn it away due to fears of the outbreak. Despite the global pandemic, 83-year-old Chinese epidemiologist Zhang Nanshan says this could all be over by April. Nanshan gained notoriety for combating the SARS epidemic in 2003. He said the outbreak will hit its peak in February, followed by a plateau and then a decrease. Reporting live from the Spartan Newsroom, I'm David Greenberg. Week 6 of the NFL season features some great matchups, including a battle between Northern versus Southern California, as the 3-2 LA Rams host the undefeated San Francisco 49ers. Over the weekend, East Lansing had been hit with quite a bit of snow. Almost 5 inches had accumulated, which is a little bit unusual for this time of year, but thankfully snowplow trucks and salt trucks were dispatched, so roads weren't too bad for drivers. Looking forward later on into this week, Wednesday is going to be a high of about 35 degrees, mostly sunny, but the rest of the way going to be a bit chilly. Highs in the upper 20s, lows in the high teens with some expected snowfall this weekend. We all know the coronavirus has put millions of Americans out of work or on hold. The Trump administration has signed a massive relief program, and Americans could be seeing that money soon. The biggest in history. With the swift stroke of a pen, President Trump signed the more than $2 trillion stimulus bill into law.
But I wanted that to be a nice signature. I want to thank Republicans and Democrats for coming together, setting aside their differences, and putting America first.
The motion is adopted.
With help on the way, Wall Street surged. The Dow rose nearly 13% last week, its best week since 1938.
The goal here is simple. Stay home, stay safe, save lives.
With governors continuing to issue statewide quarantines, unemployment skyrocketed.
3.2 million Americans who filed for unemployment last week alone.
The bill offers individuals a one-time cash payment of up to $1,200. It expands unemployment insurance to 39 weeks, boosting benefits by $600 per week through July.
This is a great plan.
$500 billion in loans for big businesses, nearly $400 billion in loans and grants for small businesses, and medical relief for hospitals.
This bill is not perfect, no bill ever is, but it is the strong medicine we need to defeat this invisible enemy.
That will do it for our NBC Sports Weekly Roundup. Al and Chris, back to you guys.